Pray silence while we hear the words of Olaudah Equiano, the African, captured at the age of 11, who bought his freedom in 1766, and also Wameri Prince, born a slave in Bermuda in 1788, who gained her freedom here in England.
I was 11. The first object which saluted my eyes when I arrived on the coast was the sea and a slave ship, which was then riding at anchor and waiting for its cargo. These filled me with astonishment, which was soon converted into terror. When I was carried on board, I was immediately handled and tossed up to see if I were sound by some crew, and I was now persuaded that I had gotten into a world of bad spirits and that they were going to kill me.
Oh, the horror of slavery! How the thought of it pains my heart. But the truth ought to be told of it. And what my eyes have seen, I think it's my duty to relate, for few people in England knows what slavery is. I have been a slave. I have felt what a slave feels. I know what a slave knows. I would have all the people of England know it too, that they may break the chain and set us free.
The air soon became unfit for respiration, from a variety of loathsome smells, and brought on a sickness amongst the slaves, of which many died. The wretched situation was again aggravated by the chains, now unsupportable, and the filth of the necessary tubs into which children often fell and were almost suffocated. The shrieks of the women and the groans of the dying rendered the whole scene of horror almost inconceivable.
They tie up slaves like hogs, mow them up like cattle, and they lick them. So as hogs, or cattle, or horses never were flogged. And yet they come to England and say that slaves don't want to get out of slavery. But they put a cloak about the truth. It is not so. All slaves want to be free. To be free is very sweet. The man that says slaves be quite happy in slavery, that they don't want to be free, that man is either ignorant or a lying person. I never heard a slave say so.
When we landed in Barbados, I was sold in a scramble. On a signal given as the beat of a drum, the buyers rush at once into the yard where the slaves are confined and make choice of that parcel they like the best. The noise and clamor with which this is attended serve not a little to increase the apprehensiveness of the terrified Africans. In this manner, without scruple, our relations and friends separated, most of them never to see each other again.
No slaves here, no whips, no stocks. They hire servants in England. Let them work ever so hard. They are far better off than slaves. They have their liberty. That's what we want. We don't mind hard work if we had proper treatment and proper wages like English servants. But they won't give it. They will have work, 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 night and day, sick or well, till we are quite done up. And then, when we are quite done up, who cares for us? More than for a lame horse. This is slavery. I tell it to let English people know the truth. And I hope they will never leave off to pray God and call loud to the King of England till all the poor blacks be given free and slavery be done up forevermore.
And here is the proudest document I have owned, dated 1766. Know ye that I, the aforesaid Robert King, for and in consideration of the sum of £70, by these present do manumit, emancipate, enfranchise, and set free the aforesaid Negro manslave named Olaudah Equiano forever. Hereby giving, granting, and releasing unto him all right, title, dominion, sovereignty, and property, which as Lord and Master over the aforesaid Olaudah Equiano I have had. I bought my freedom. Freedom!